A man and a woman declare their commitment to one another. For as long as we have had recorded history, and in every known society there is some form of marriage ceremony, and it is by this rite the two have been joined together down through the ages. In some societies it's an arrangement, but in our society it's the culmination of a very deep and meaningful relationship. The beautiful relationship between a man and woman begins with their commitment to one another. It's sustained by their self-control, but it will be evaluated by their love. These words have been spoken many times to young couples who are getting married. To a young couple starting their married life, these words describe a vague future. But I will tell you, to Matthew and Danielle, they have a larger meaning today. They understand what it is to be two persons, yet be one. You see, it's taken them 10 years to rush into today. And because of that, they understand. In seeing them, we see what many of the thoughts presented in a wedding mean in the real world. In wedding vows, we speak of commitment. Matthew and Danielle demonstrate what commitment is. It's learning how to be angry with each other and still love each other. It's being disappointed, yet remaining proud. It's working hard and not always seeing any real returns. When a preacher says, in sickness and in health, they're just words. But in time you learn, sick and grumpy, and you are really trying my patience. But it also might mean sick, and I am so afraid of losing you. Richer or poorer takes on a whole meaning over time. Poorer could be unable to afford some fancy new toy, but it could also be unable to afford groceries. When the minister says in good times and bad, he doesn't tell you that it means times when you feel abandoned or picked on or rejected or blamed and all of the other things that happen to us. He doesn't say anything about in-laws and holiday fiascos. But you see, Matthew and Danielle have learned this. And they've learned what he means. Haven't you? They understand the meaning of commitment, and so they stand here to join together in marriage. They have looked for ways to succeed in the relationship, and that is why we can share the celebration of marriage with them. And I ask you to consider some thoughts. Consider this. Happiness in marriage is not something that just happens. A good marriage must be created. It's never being too old to hold hands. It's remembering to say, I love you, at least once a day. It's never going to sleep angry. It's at no time taking the other for granted. The courtship should not end with your honeymoon. It should continue throughout all of your years. It's having that mutual sense of values and the common objective, standing together facing the world. Matthew and Danielle have learned in their 10 years together to let love be their motivating principle. True love is not simply affection, it's a willingness to do for one another that which is best for him or her. Success in marriage is not the result of many fortuitous accidents. It's the result of commitment and work bound together in love. Sooner or later, we begin to understand that love is more than verses on Valentine's and romance in the movies. We begin to know that love is here and now, real and true. The most important thing in our lives. For love is the creator of our favorite memories and the foundation of our fondest dreams. Love is a promise that is always kept. A fortune that can never be spent. A seed that can flourish even in the most unlikely of places. And this radiance that never fades, this mysterious and magical joy, is the greatest treasure of all, but one only known to those who love. Look at one another's hands. The hand offered by each of you is an extension of yourself, just as is your mutual love. Cherish the touch, for I wish to remind you that you are holding not only your own, put another life in your hands. Matthew and Danielle, we see your commitment to each other and your love. Continue to remember the joy you have found in one another. Remember to enjoy the parts of life that you share with each other and the joys you have in common, for they are part of the reason that you love one another as you do. Keep your relationship as fresh as the outdoors that you both love. Do not try to change each other. Continue to encourage your growth together as a couple. Continue in your loving resolve. Today, this marriage is not only two, but it includes those who are important to both of you. Your first commitment is to each other, and then to those you hold in your heart. As part of this special day, we also recognize Kayla and the significant role she plays in this marriage being celebrated today. Wow, that was a fast one. I'll take it. Matthew and Danielle would like to recognize this and make a family commitment to recognize the hope and joy made visible through this marriage. Kayla? Matthew, would you repeat these words? This represents my commitment to you as my family, and that I will love and care for you as such.
I couldn't change your name to make you Matt, so I'm making you Moore by giving you a ring. Always love you. Always.
Matthew and Danielle, we are now coming to your vows. May I remind you that saying your vows is one thing. The true challenge will be living them day by day. What you promise here today must be renewed tomorrow and every day that stretches up before you. Understanding the significance and the permanency of marriage in the presence of these witnesses, do you, Matthew, take Danielle to be your wife, your partner in life, and your one true love? Will you cherish your union and love her more each day than you did the day before? Will you trust her and respect her, laugh with her and cry with her, loving her faithfully through good times and bad, regardless of the obstacles you may face together? Do you give her your hand, your heart, and your love from this day forward as long as you both shall live? Before these witnesses, do you, Danielle, take Matthew to be your husband, your partner in life, and your one true love? Will you cherish your union and love him more each day than you did the day before? Will you trust him and respect him, laugh with him and cry with him, loving him faithfully through good times and bad, regardless of the obstacles you may face together? Do you give him your hand and your heart and your love from this day forward as long as you both shall live? Rings are given as tokens of the vows you have just made. May the circle of the rings symbolize your unending love for one another, and may the precious metal they are made from remind you of the precious relationship that you enjoy. May I have the bride, please?
Gotta make it difficult to get the rings.
Yes, they did. They just made everything on the bowl of them, and they just keep them. Just put that in our
He tied a knot on the ring.
Yeah.
Probably comes before they learn God.
You want to hold that? Technical difficulty.
Always a technical difficulty. There we go.
Matthew, place this ring on the third finger of Danielle's left hand and repeat these words. This ring is the symbol of the promise I have made to you. Danielle, place this ring on the third finger of Matthew's left hand and repeat these words. This ring is the symbol of the promise I have made to you. Now may the love which has brought you together continue to grow and enrich your lives. May you meet with courage any problems which arise to challenge. May your marriage be one of ever-growing depth and meaning. May you always respect the uniqueness of each other. May your communication always be clear and honest, and may your relationship always be one of love and trust. May the happiness that you share today be with you always, and may every word you have pledged here be a living truth in your lives. Matthew and Danielle, we have heard your promise to live your lives together in marriage. We recognize and we respect the covenant of marriage you made here today before us as witnesses. Therefore, as a servant of God and as one authorized by the province of Ontario to perform marriages, I now pronounce you husband and wife, and you do kiss your bride. Ladies and gentlemen, the couple have selected to sign the licenses in the presence of this audience. So I'm going to ask the maid of honor and yes, man, if they would please join